Hi food friends, it's Kevin.
And I'm Ralph over here behind the camera. What are we making today, Kev?
Swiss steak. And so I got these beautiful cube steaks from the butcher shop. Now take a look at this. Ralph, can you get in there? This is a piece of round steak that the butcher puts through a machine called a cuber. And it basically perforates the meat. Because this in and of itself is not necessarily a super tender cut of meat, but when it's cubed like this and this thing goes through the meat to perforate it, it cuts through a lot of the tissue and connective tissue and things like that normally make a cut of meat tough.
So the cuber tenderizes it, and that's
exactly
part of what makes a Swiss steak?
Yeah. And so, well, for Swiss steak, I think it's more the things that you put in it, but you use basically, we call a cube steak like this.
Oh, okay. What else do you do with this type of meat?
You could do all kinds of other little things with this as well if you wanted to. This is good braised, though, which is how kind of Swiss steak is made. Braising is basically cooking in moisture.
Okay,
and so that's what we're going to do.
What's the next step?
So we've got our cube steak here. It's been out for a few minutes, so it's kind of come up to room temperature a little bit. You don't want it real cold.
Is that called resting?
Well, resting is actually at the end.
After it's
take
cooked.
it out.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
This is just sort of, that's all right, just leaving it out. And because you don't want the meat really cold, because we're going to put it in a hot skillet with a little oil. And if the meat was really cold, it'd bring that temperature of the oil right down.
Gotcha.
Okay?
So what's this?
This is just flour. This is...
you seasoned it, though, didn't you?
Yeah, about a third of a cup of flour, and I put some salt and pepper in there, okay?
Basic.
And very basic. And so what we're going to do here is we're just going to coat the steak. And, of course, the moisture of the steak that is there naturally will help the flour adhere to it, okay?
Gotcha. Yeah, I see that.
Then, let's see if that's ready. It looks like. In it goes. This, by the way, is a great recipe if you have an electric skillet, which I think is one of the best small appliances there is.
It's a kitchen essential.
Yes, there's a lot of things I could live without. An electric skillet is not one of them.
I make chilaquiles in an electric skillet.
Yes, you do. The best I ever had. So we're just gonna, they really are. So my mom used to make this pretty regularly. And there's a lot of recipes for Swiss steak. So this is sort of close to how my mom used to do it.
Is this actually an American dish, do you think, or
I'm sure it is.
It's not really from Switzerland.
No, you know what? If somebody knows, please let me know. That's the kind of stuff I love to learn about, origins of food. I would be shocked if this is actually a Swiss dish, but maybe somebody who was Swiss actually invented it. But it's
You'd
probably...
be surprised to find this in Europe, in other words.
Yeah. But I could be wrong.
So this meat, the way it's cubed, is that something you can find at any butcher, or do you have to ask them to make it that way?
Most butcher shops would have it. If they don't, you just always, you know what? Get to know a butcher, and they will be a good friend for you in the kitchen.
A helpful
they
friend.
even have it. Some supermarkets might have it, and they even sometimes in little kitchen stores you'll see cubers. So what we're going to do is we're just going to let this sort of
keep cooking.
Yeah, we want it to brown a little bit.
Oh yeah, it's doing its thing, getting a nice sear. Is that what they call it?
Yep. And then what we'll do is once this is sort of browned up, let it go a little bit more. Then we'll come back and start putting some other ingredients in. So we're making Swiss steak this week on Cavalcade. Be right back. Okay. So we want to just sort of gently turn these over. See, they're getting a little browning here.
Yeah, they look delicious.
I'm gonna let that one go. That's why we wear an apron. So
That's why we wear hazmat outfits.
So when they all get sort of brown like that, I'll turn them all over.
Okay.
But that's kind of what you're looking for.
Great.
All right.
Got it.
So we've got our Swiss steaks nice and browned. I'm just going to take these out. Okay.
All right, because they're actually, you said they're going to cook longer.
Yeah, they are.
You don't have to worry about thoroughly cooking them.
I mean, they got a ways to go. But what I do want to do is I want to get some of this excess fat. Of course, we cooked it. By the way, I just put in maybe about 3 tablespoons of, vegetable oil or canola oil. And so I'm taking that excess oil out of there. Now you see all these nice little brown crispins. That is flavor down there. So we're going to use a couple cups of beef broth. I'm going to put a little bit in here.
How about some red wine?
Well, you could, but
just kidding. Better
actually.
to drink it.
And then what we're going to do is we're going to...
Oh yeah, it comes off, and then that helps create the gravy.
Part of the gravy, yeah.
I noticed that, I think I've been experimenting cooking rice or something, but even though sometimes things seem like they're burnt and stuck to the pan, once you add the liquid, it loosens it up nicely and adds to the gravy or the flavoring.
See how that's come right off?
Yeah.
And how's it smelling? Pretty good,
It smells really good, yeah.
So basically, I just want to loosen that stuff up, and it will, in the cooking process, it'll continue to sort of break down.
And what are you going to add to it?
So, we're going to add, well, first of all, let's put our...
Oh, they go back in?
Yes, they go back in.
Oh,
okay. So we've got our
Swiss steaks ready to go
Swiss
back
steaks
in.
are going to go back in. Okay.
With the blood and everything?
Sure. Now, some recipes call for tomatoes in, like canned tomatoes, or diced tomatoes. We never did that. Instead, we're going to put in, I got 4 stalks of celery. To me, the tomatoes almost make it kind of...
Take away from it?
Well, makes it more Italian, I think. I don't know, something about the tomatoes. But I do put in...
And we're making it Swiss.
4 stalks of celery, 1 medium onion.
Wow, I can really smell all the beef stock cooking with the onions and the celery and the meat now. Doesn't that smell good?
Oh yeah. Then mushrooms. I've got 8 ounces here of.
Are those the button style?
Yeah. Who are we listening to?
This is Petula Clark, international recording artist. We're doing I didn't know what to go with Swiss. I thought maybe something international. So she's Frenching it up and singing in different languages on this album.
So then we'll season it a little bit.
Yeah, always good to have a little pepper to kick it up and kind of brings out more flavor.
I'm going to put just a little bit of salt, and I'm going to put in more of our
beef stock.
Just enough to kind of come up, because this is going to boil down. Now this is going to cook this is going to cook for an hour.
Wow. So this is looking very good with all the vegetables, and now we're covering it up.
We're going to cover it up, and we're going to just let it simmer away.
Okay, so we'll be back in an hour?
We'll be back in an hour to check on our Swiss steak right here on Cavalcade of Food, okay? It's smelling good. See you in a bit. So we've got it covered. I just wanted to make note that we've turned it down to just simmer stage. And that's key. So it's at a lower temperature, probably somewhere around 250 degrees or so, 240 degrees. And we're just going to let it simmer away, let it reduce.
How open do you make the vents?
I just have it a little bit open. You could do it more less if you wanted to, but
it's going to cook a good hour, so you want it on a low heat and definitely some ventilation.
And that's why using an electric skillet, see how it's already Those mushrooms are starting to cook
Saute
down.
and bubble up. Yeah.
But the great thing about using an electric skillet is that it really helps regulate the temperature. Now you could do this on a stovetop too, in a regular skillet if you had a big skillet with a lid. You definitely need a lid. So, but this is just one of these great meals to use and to utilize your electric skillet with. So,
Mr. Kitchen Appliance.
that's it. So you know what? We'll be back. We're just going to let it do its thing. Okay, it's been about an hour and 5 minutes, and there it is. Isn't that beautiful?
It is beautiful.
Cool. So this is our Swiss steak.
The mushrooms cooked up nicely.
You can see the mushrooms, the onions, the celery. It's all tender and beautiful. So what we're going to do is we're going to put a piece down. Of course, I actually should get a spoon here.
Get some of that good gravy.
You want the gravy and some more of these. You can see it reduced quite a bit. Part of it too is the the evaporation. Plus there's flour in
The breading.
and that helped thicken it up a little bit.
And as it evaporates, that flavor goes right into the meat.
So then what we do is
Garnish.
I always save the celery leaves because I think they've got great flavor. And we're going to garnish with just a little celery
Look
leaf
how
there.
nice that looks.
Steak à la Suisse.
Now you serve that up with some nice white rice
Or
or
mashed potatoes and a vegetable, and you've got a great meal, and that's what we're going to do. So anyways, Swiss steak, as you can see, very simple. Cube steak, brown it in a pan, some nice beef stock, mushrooms, celery, onions, and you just let it cook low and slow for an hour or so, and you've got this
what you
beautiful fork tender Swiss steak.
can't wait to dig into that. Make it for someone you love.
That's right. So thanks for being a part of this one, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks for watching.
Bye.
Bye now.